Have you ever dreamed of traveling the world after retirement, exploring new lands, and creating unforgettable memories? Traveling after the age of 70 can be a wonderful experience, but it also comes with hidden senior travel risks that many older adults overlook until it's too late. What begins as a dream vacation can quickly turn into a stressful and even dangerous situation if you are not fully prepared, especially when facing potential emergency medical situations abroad. In today's article, we will reveal the 5 main risks that older adults face when traveling. These are not just minor inconveniences, they can have serious consequences for your health, safety, and finances, making an understanding of elderly travel safety more important than ever. And the final risk on our list is something most travelers never consider, but it can cost you thousands of dollars, highlighting the significant financial risks of traveling and the critical need for products like travel insurance for seniors. Therefore, if you want to travel with confidence, avoid unwanted problems, and truly enjoy your adventures, stay with us as we will cover essential health precautions for senior travelers and other vital safe travel tips for over 70. Now, let's begin. Risk number 1: medical emergencies and medical complications. Traveling is one of the greatest joys of life, but after age 70, even a minor health issue can quickly escalate into a serious emergency. The fact is, as we get older, our bodies react differently to stress changes in climate and physical exertion. A trip that once seemed easy can suddenly become exhausting, and medical conditions that appeared to be under control at home can unexpectedly worsen while traveling. One of the greatest health risks for senior travelers is deep vein thrombosis, or DVT. This condition occurs when a blood clot forms in the leg after long periods of sitting, such as on an airplane or a long bus ride. If that clot travels to the lungs, it can cause a pulmonary embolism, a life-threatening condition. Unfortunately, many people don't realize they have DVT until they experience symptoms like swelling leg pain or difficulty breathing, often when the situation has already become serious. Another risk comes from changes in altitude and climate. Air travel exposes your body to lower oxygen levels and dry air in the cabin, which can cause shortness of breath, especially for those with heart or lung conditions. If you have high blood pressure, diabetes, or respiratory issues, flying can put additional strain on your body. Similarly, traveling to high-altitude destinations, such as mountainous regions, can cause dizziness, headaches, and even a lack of oxygen. But the biggest challenge of all is accessing medical care. At home, if you feel unwell, you know exactly where to go. Your local doctor, a trusted pharmacy, and a nearby hospital covered by your insurance. But when you're in a foreign country or a remote location, getting medical treatment is not that simple. Some hospitals may not have modern equipment, and in many places, doctors don't speak English. Worse yet, many seniors assume their regular health insurance will cover them abroad, but most domestic plans do not cover international medical emergencies. That means a sudden illness or injury can lead to a hospital bill of tens of thousands of dollars. Now imagine this. James, a 74-year-old retiree, had booked a dream cruise to the Caribbean with his wife. He was in good health, active, and very excited about the trip. But just 4 days into the cruise, after a day in the sun, James began to feel a sharp pain in his chest. At first, he brushed it off, thinking it was just heartburn, but when the pain spread to his arm and he began to sweat profusely, he knew something was wrong. His wife rushed him to the ship's medical bay, but the doctors on board didn't have the equipment to properly diagnose a heart attack. They requested an emergency helicopter for evacuation, but due to weather delays, James had to wait for hours before reaching a hospital. He survived, but instead of enjoying his vacation, he spent the rest of the trip recovering and received a hospital bill exceeding $20,000. To stay safe, proactive preparation is key. Before each trip, schedule a general health checkup to ensure you are fit for the journey ahead. Preparing your medication is also crucial. Always pack extra medication in case of delays, and keep a list of your current medications and medical history. During transit, especially on long flights, move around frequently by standing up, stretching, and walking around every hour to reduce the risk of blood clots. Additionally, researching reputable hospitals at your destination will help you know exactly where to go in an emergency. Finally, one of the most important steps is to purchase comprehensive travel insurance that covers medical emergencies, hospitalization costs, and medical evacuation. Thorough preparation can make all the difference between a smooth trip and a medical crisis. Risk number 2. Exposure to infections and contaminants. Travel opens the door to new experiences, but it also exposes you to countless pathogens, viruses, and bacteria, especially in crowded places like airports, airplanes, hotels, and public transportation. For younger travelers, a mild cold or digestive upset might be just a minor inconvenience. But for an older adult, an infection can lead to serious complications, prolonged illness, and even hospitalization. As we age, our immune systems naturally weaken, making it harder to fight off infections. This process, known as immunosenescence, means that a simple flu or a foodborne illness can last longer and have more severe consequences than in a younger person. Respiratory illnesses pose a particularly serious threat. Research shows that older adults are more susceptible to pneumonia and other lung infections, especially when exposed to unfamiliar viruses. The hidden dangers of air travel are also a factor that cannot be ignored. Consider the environment inside an airplane, an enclosed space with hundreds of people sitting close together for hours. This environment is not only a physical challenge due to the dry air and pressure changes factors that can stress the cardiovascular system and increase the risk of events like a heart attack, but it is also a potential reservoir for pathogens. It's no surprise that studies confirm the risk of contracting airborne illnesses increases significantly on flights. The combination of recirculated air and the convergence of travelers from all over the world creates an ideal environment for unfamiliar strains of viruses to spread. And the danger doesn't just come from the air you breathe. Think about every surface you touch, from the tray table and seatbelt buckle to the restroom door handle. Although airlines perform some cleaning, a thorough deep clean between flights is rare. This means you are coming into contact with the traces of hundreds of people who sat there before you. Food and water. Contamination. Another risk not to be underestimated. Exploring local cuisine is an essential part of any trip, but it is also one of the greatest potential risks. The digestive systems of older adults are inherently more sensitive and exposure to unfamiliar foods. Different cooking methods or lower hygiene standards can quickly lead to food poisoning. The water source is also a serious concern. Tap water in many countries can contain bacteria and parasites that locals are accustomed to but can make travelers very sick. Don't forget that even the ice cubes in your drink can be a source of illness if they are made from untreated tap water. Consider the story of Linda, a 76-year-old who was incredibly excited for a long-awaited trip to Southeast Asia. As a food lover, she didn't hesitate to try a fresh raw salad at a local market and quench her thirst with a glass of iced juice. Less than a day later, she began to suffer from severe abdominal cramps, vomiting, and signs of dehydration. Her trip was put on hold as she was taken to a local hospital and diagnosed with acute gastroenteritis caused by bacteria from contaminated food. As a result, she had to spend 4 precious days of her vacation recovering in the hospital, missing almost the entire itinerary she had so carefully planned. How to stay safe. To minimize the risk of infection, be proactive with prevention. Always wear a high-quality mask in crowded areas like airports and tourist attractions. Wash your hands frequently with soap, and always carry a hand sanitizer. Make it a habit not to touch your face after being in contact with public surfaces. Regarding food and drink, adhere to the eat cooked, drink boiled principle. Only drink bottled or treated water, avoid drinks with ice from unknown sources, and be cautious with raw or undercooked dishes. Preparing a small travel medical kit with anti-diarrhea medication, probiotics, and electrolyte packets is also a smart step to deal promptly with any digestive issues. A little preparation can go a long way in preventing illness and ensuring a healthy and complete trip. Risk number 3. Travel fatigue and recovery challenges. The paradox of travel is that the very thing we do to relax can become one of the most exhausting activities. For older adults, this is not just a simple feeling of tiredness. It is a profound state of exhaustion that can ruin an entire trip. Long flights, early morning departures to catch a train, the hustle and bustle of airports, and a packed sightseeing schedule will drain your body's energy faster than you think. Unlike younger travelers who can bounce back after a single night's sleep, older adults have smaller energy reserves and need more time to recuperate. This prolonged exhaustion not only diminishes your enjoyment, but also directly weakens your immune system, causes confusion, and significantly increases the risk of getting sick or injured. 2 of the biggest causes of this fatigue are disrupted sleep and physical exertion. Adjusting to an unfamiliar bed noise from the surroundings or a change in time zones can completely disrupt your sleep cycle. Jet lag can throw your body clock off for days, leaving you feeling sluggish, unfocused, and irritable right when you want to enjoy your trip the most. At the same time, many people underestimate how tiring it is to be constantly moving in a new environment. Large museums, historical sites, and walking tours often require you to stand or walk for hours, frequently on uneven surfaces. For those with arthritis, back pain, or mobility issues, this activity can quickly lead to aches, swelling, and even falls. The silent burden of exhaustion. Imagine the story of Richard and his wife, both 75, who had planned a 2-week European trip across 6 cities. They were excited to make the most of their time. However, the packed schedule, with multiple flights, train rides, and hours of walking each day, quickly showed its downside. After just 3 days, Richard was completely exhausted. Instead of feeling thrilled while looking at ancient architecture, he only felt a weary fatigue. His feet ached from the cobblestone streets, his back was sore from carrying luggage, and his mind was too tired to fully appreciate anything. By the middle of the trip, his body was so run down that he caught a cold. By the time he started to adjust to the new time zone, it was time to go home. Ironically, Richard had to spend the next month recovering from his vacation. How to stay safe and energized. The key lies in shifting your mindset from trying to see everything to fully enjoying each moment. Build a slower-paced itinerary with fewer destinations and intersperse rest days between activities. Prioritize comfortable, quiet accommodations to ensure better sleep quality. Schedule flights and transportation at reasonable hours, avoiding very early departures or late-night arrivals. To combat physical fatigue, staying hydrated, eating nutritious meals, and wearing comfortable, supportive shoes are not luxuries but necessities. Most importantly, listen to your body and don't hesitate to take a short nap when needed. Travel should be a rejuvenating experience, not an endurance race. Risk number 5: financial pitfalls and deadly insurance gaps. When preparing for a trip, seniors are often excited about flights, hotels, or interesting destinations. But few anticipate the silent financial hazards that can turn a dream vacation into a costly disaster. An unexpected health issue or a sophisticated scam can completely wipe out a lifetime of savings. The most expensive mistake many people make is believing their domestic health insurance will continue to protect them abroad. The truth is, most insurance plans, whether public or private, are not valid outside of national borders. This means you are completely unprotected if something happens. A few days in a hospital in Europe or Asia can cost from $5,000 to $20,000, not to mention the cost of a medical evacuation by air ambulance, which can reach $200,000. Even minor accidents like a broken arm can cost you thousands of dollars for treatment. Another risk that is often underestimated is last-minute trip cancellation. Seniors often plan their travel far in advance, but life is unpredictable. A sudden illness, a family emergency, or even a disease outbreak can force you to cancel your trip. However, most airlines, cruise lines, and tour companies have strict cancellation policies with non-refundable deposits and very high cancellation fees. You could lose thousands of dollars for a journey that never even began. Additionally, scammers targeting senior travelers are becoming increasingly sophisticated. Common tricks include posting listings for non-existent vacation rentals to steal deposits, installing skimming devices at ATMs to steal card information, or pretending to offer free gifts only to later pressure you into paying. The story of George, 76, is a clear example. He paid a full deposit for a beachfront hotel through an unfamiliar website, but when he arrived, all he found was an abandoned building. The website had vanished, the phone number was disconnected, and his vacation began with bitter disappointment. So, how can you protect yourself from these financial risks? Start by investing in a comprehensive travel insurance policy, one that includes medical expenses, emergency evacuation, trip cancellation, lost luggage, and make sure the policy has clear terms regarding pre-existing conditions. When booking services, only use reputable platforms like Booking.com or Expedia, or book directly from the official websites of hotels and airlines. Stay away from deals that sound too good to be true. Furthermore, use credit cards instead of debit cards, as they often have better fraud protection layers. Avoid withdrawing money from standalone ATMs in crowded tourist areas, and don't be afraid to refuse unsolicited offers on the street. Traveling after 70 does not mean stopping exploration, it means learning to explore smarter. The 5 risks we have discussed, from health issues, infections, exhaustion, and falls to financial pitfalls, are not meant to make you afraid, but to help you prepare better. When you proactively plan, listen to your body, and equip yourself with a reliable insurance policy, you can embark on your journey with confidence. Let your golden years be a time for creating wonderful memories, not costly mistakes. We wish you safe, healthy, and fulfilling travels.